start in Supta with a little support. Bolster under your rib cage, blanket under your head. And then you can use a strap in whatever fashion you would like to use the strap. I'm going to just take it over my legs. I want to do that version high up in the hip crease, and then you can tighten this to whatever Padangusthasana distance you would like to have. Rib cage goes on the bolster, so I have a little space between you and the bolster. And then as you arch back, take the lower ribs onto the bolster. Let the blanket touch your shoulders, but not be under them. Oops.
You can mute me if you want.
Okay, I will. I'm gonna record this. I haven't posted any recordings in a while.
Okay.
I've been having too much fun. All right. You can do what feels most comfortable with your arms. That can rest, elbows on the ground, hands on your torso. You can drop your arms to the ground. Sometimes the bolster is a little too poopy for that to feel comfortable, but you can find a comfortable position, the most comfortable position. Or catch the elbows, take the arms up over your head. And then just slowly start to deepen your inhalation. Drawing the navel back towards the spine and inhaling up towards the collarbones. So you're feeling the expansion of the rib cage, chest, the back. May or may not make it all the way to the collarbones. Don't let this be stressful or cause you to feel anxiety. Just deepen gradually your breath. You've got the arms over the head. Let's do the opposite cross of the arms for a breath or two. Then bring your arms back down by your sides. And press with your elbows, press with your hands. We'll sit up. Release your legs. And then take a little twist to the right. Twist to the left. All right, and then we're just gonna pull that bolster out of the way. Lay back down. We're gonna do a little Supta Padangusthasana. Alright, so you can make a loop in your strap. We're gonna do it with the leg on the floor bent. So strap around the right foot, straighten the right leg. We haven't done anything for the hamstrings yet, so if you wanna back off a little bit and ease into this hamstring stretch, you may. Try to make that leg as straight as you can. Mine doesn't look very straight, but it's as straight as I can get it. And then you can gradually deepen this stretch by pulling that shoulder blade closer to the floor. All right, and take your left arm out to the side. You're gonna drop your left knee to the left as you take the right leg to the right. Well, nice deep breaths here. Both legs back up to center. Bend the right knee and set the right foot down. And then we'll switch sides. All right, so right knee will stay bent. Loop will go around your left heel. Straight up in the air. And as you feel that hamstring start to give into the stretch, you can pull that shoulder blade closer to the floor. Deepen the stretch. And right arm to the right. Let the right knee drop to the right as you take that left leg out to the left. And then with an inhalation, both legs back up. Bend that left knee, set the foot on the floor, and just take a moment there. You can keep the knees bent or you can straighten them, whichever you prefer. Just take a moment to let that mild stretch soak. Okay, and then roll to your side. Slowly sitting up. It's kind of cross legs when you sit up. We'll take a little twist to the right. Twist to your left.
Sure. You need to unlock your phone this time. After, you can change your Gemini settings to make them
Sit back. Opposite cross. Twist to your right. Twist to your left. All right, let's get rid of chair. Take the short edge of the mat to the wall and the chair to the wall. So the back of the chair will go to the wall. If you would like, you can put a mat on the seat of the chair. You've got some extra mat pieces. It's not necessary, but it adds a little padding for the bottom of the foot. And then you're probably gonna want a block for your hands. We're gonna have the foot pretty high here, so maybe a block for your hand down there on the floor. So we're going to take Utthita Parsvakonasana first. So your right leg is going to be out towards, your left leg is going to be out towards the edge of the mat. And then you're going to take your right leg up onto the seat of the chair. So I have it, so I'm kind of pushing into the edge. If you can be more on the top, if that's more comfortable, be more on the top. All right, and then you can wiggle that left leg out to a comfortable position. All right, now we're going to take that hand to the inside of the leg for this version. All right, so as you gently press into your knee here, make that knee move back. So the hip is rotating, but turn, take your left hand onto your hip and turn toward the left side. Right, and you can slowly let that arm slide down as you bend your knee. Try to bring the ankle and the knee in alignment. All right, press the arm into the knee as you bring that right buttock forward, chest back, and then extend that left arm. Roll your chest forward, turn and look up at the ceiling. Big deep breaths. All right, and then bring that arm back around, stand up. It's a little awkward coming off of the chair, but just push a couple of times. All right, second side. So right foot is back. Left foot is up on the chair. All right, so hand is in the inside of the arm. You're watching that left buttock is moving down and forward. Don't let it go back. Try to bring it down and forward. Turn and look back to your right as you slide that hand down to bend the knee as deep as it'll bend. You can let your hand be on your foot or on the chair. Right, and then as the left knee moves back, that left buttock moves forward. Try to roll the right side of your rib cage back, left side forward. Turn and look up at the ceiling and then extend that right arm. Big deep breath. Okay, and bring the arm back around. Up a couple times with that foot to get yourself down. Right, and then we'll just take feet wide, come over into Uttanasana. You need height of your hands. You could use the chair. You can come down to the floor, feet, ankles, shins, whatever works. Okay, and then soften the knees and stand up. Okay, now we're gonna use the block maybe. You're gonna have it in front of your leg. So we're gonna do an Utthita Trikonasana where we bring the hand in front of the leg this time. All right, so same thing that we just did, we're just not going to bend this knee. So you may need the right leg a bit wider, or sorry, the left leg a bit wider. Okay, now we are going to bend the knee here at the start. So you're just going to bend that right knee a little bit, look at it with your eyes, and make that hip turn so the knee is pointing toward the third and fourth toe. All right, now extend that right arm up, lengthen your right side, and as you pull from the outer knee to the outer hip, you'll start to come over into Utthita Trikonasana. Then this hand can come to the chair, or if you can get down to the block, you can come down to the block. Really drive that right femur bone into the hip socket. Feel your right hip move to the left, and your left hip kind of come up and over it. And extend that left arm up as you press the arm into the shin bone there. Turn. Left side of the rib cage back, right side forward. Look up at your hand in the air. Couple of deep breaths. All right, and then you can soften that knee a little bit to help you come up. Move the block, and then take your foot down. All right, and then we'll switch, and we'll do that on the other side. So right leg back, left leg up. Give yourself plenty of distance here. You may need more distance since we're not bending the knee. All right, we're going to soften the knee just a little bit. All right, rotate that hip out so the knee is pointing towards the third and fourth toe. All right, turn your chest, look back towards the left. Or sorry, right. And then as you reach up through that left side, you're going to come over, drawing that outer knee into the hip socket. And come down. Go to the chair, or you've got your block there. You can bring your block so the hand goes straight down instead of out. All right, and then really think of pulling that femur. You can soften the knee a little bit and re-engage that femur into the hip socket. Get that right hip to feel like it's coming up and over. Extend the right arm up and turn the chest. Look up towards your right hand, turn your chest in that direction. Big deep breath. All right, and then soften the knee a bit, inhale and come up. Watch your block, you don't want to kick the block when you come down. All right, and then separate your feet and again, come over into Uttanasana. Right, soften the knees, inhale and stand up. We're done with the wall now. So let's you just set your chair off to the side. And let's take the mats back out where you have plenty of side to side space. We're doing some more Padangusthasana. You'll want your strap. Alright, so we're going to do the right leg first. We're gonna start like we did before. So the left leg will be bent. And then you'll take that loop around the right heel. You probably will have a little more flexibility now after the standing poses. So if you want to shorten that loop some, you can. Okay, now we don't really have to pay a whole lot of attention to the right leg. Right? Once you tell that right leg to move, it's going to move and gravity's going to take over, and then the right leg's going to stop. So we don't have to think about the right leg. So for now, put all of your attention in your left leg. Dorsiflex the foot so the toes are up, and then you're going to push. I want you to pretend you're on a leg press at the gym and you have a ton of weight. And you have to push as hard as you can push to straighten that leg. And then as you start to straighten, you're going to engage your hamstring, engage your quad, engage your calf muscle, and you're going to press the front of the leg to the back of the leg. Feel any part of your leg coming down to the floor. Keep pulling those toes towards your head because you're holding that leg press. Take your left arm out to the side, attention back in the left leg. Press that leg down to the floor and then just let the right leg go to the right. Keep all the attention in the left leg. Don't let it relax. It's a lot of intensity. Try to keep it engaged. You'll feel that right leg kind of just as smooth as butter. There's no imbalance. You don't feel like you're flopping to the right, and there's a nice opening across the pelvis because we've kept that left side so anchored. Right, and then with an inhalation, bring that right leg back up to center. Reach up with your left hand to catch your loop. And then you're just going to take that right leg across until you feel some outer leg stretch. The right hip will stay down. Right arm can be extended out to the side. You can even turn your head to the right, get a little more neck stretch. Right, and then bring that leg back up to center. Reach back up with your right hand. Just be in Supta Padangusthasana 1 for a moment again. And then bend both knees. Take the loop off of the right leg. Feet on the floor. Just relax. You realize how much abdominal work is in that pose when you finally get both feet on the ground. Okay, same thing, second side. Bend that left knee, hook the strap around the heel, straighten the leg. All right, and now you're on the leg press with the right leg. So you're strong dorsiflexion, you're pushing through the heel, not the ball of the foot. Letting that heel slowly slide along the mat. As the leg straightens, you intensify the work in the calf, the quad, the hamstring, and you press the front of the leg to the back of the leg. Get as much of that leg onto the floor as you can, and keep all of your attention in that right leg. Press it down into the floor as you slowly move that left leg. You feel a nice opening through the pelvis, keeping that right side anchored. Nice stretch through the inner left thigh. And once you're there, don't lose that right leg intensity. Couple of deep breaths. All right, now keeping that right leg intense, bring the left leg back up. Reach over with your right hand to catch the strap and take the leg over just until you feel a nice little outer leg stretch. This hip is gonna stay down. We're not going full party breathing. Head can turn to the left if you'd like, let that right side of the neck get some stretch. Okay, and then bring the leg back up. Bend both knees, set the feet on the floor. Take a little moment to relax. All right, now you're going to roll onto your right side. If you do adjust so you can see the screen, you may. You're gonna roll onto your right, left side. And when you lay down, you're gonna lay right at the edge of the mat. So the left ankle will be at the edge of the mat. You're gonna bring your hip up to the edge of the mat. So your thigh is probably gonna be off the mat, right? And then your armpit will be at the edge of the mat. And you're gonna crawl that left arm out, so you're getting as much down here, all right? And then we're just gonna take this leg into the front. All right, so think of this like the bent knee pose on the chair. All right, if you just let everything relax here, you'll feel that the bent knee drops forward and the buttocks roll backwards. So we want to reverse that. So you can use your right hand on the floor for some balance. All right, push that right knee back and bring the right hip forward, like you're gripping the buttocks to bring the tailbone in. All right, now extend through your left heel. So you're gonna do a strong dorsiflexion on that left foot and extend through the heel and tighten up the quad, the hamstring, the calf. You may feel that your heel lifts up. All right, it's just the design of the foot. We have a bigger toe box than we do a heel. So it's gonna be the pinky toe knuckle pressed into the floor there. All right, and then just extend your right arm straight up into the air. Right foot will stay on the floor. There you go. Now just find that balance, play with it a little bit. If you take the buttocks forward without moving the knee, what happens? You move the knee without moving the buttocks, what happens? You have to find that synergy, move them together. Right, and then relax. Now let's take a loop, roll onto your back, take the loop of your strap. Doesn't have to be super tight around your foot, but that makes it a little easier. We're just gonna hold the tail of the strap. All right, we're gonna roll back over into that starting position. That way you can reach down and find the strap. Right, and then you're gonna pick your foot up as if you were on that chair. Alright, so you're gonna be pressing the arm into the leg and then bringing the buttocks forward like we just practiced with the foot on the floor. Alright, now keeping that right leg very firm. Pretend it's pressed into the floor like Supta Padangusthasana. Straighten that left leg. You have to keep the knee back and the buttocks forward. And find that balance. Anantasana. Right, and then you can bend the knee. Roll onto your back. Let's go ahead and switch the strap. We're gonna do that same little balance on the right side. But we'll go ahead and put the strap around the foot. Alright, so now you're gonna have that right ankle, right hip, right armpit, right along the floor, and then you're gonna bend that left leg. Yours will probably be higher than mine. I just can't bend that much yet. Right, and then again, you're just kind of playing here. Knee forward, buttock back. And then knee back, buttock forward. Start to really engage that leg on the floor. You've got the leg press there. Push out through the heel. Tighten up quads, hamstring. Rip your buttocks so your tailbone moves in. Right, and then extend that left arm up into the air. Find your balance here. It's harder than you think it is. You're like, but the foot's on the floor. Right, and then relax that a little bit. Find your strap. Now, so you can get as close to the foot as possible, bring the leg up like you were on that chair. Extend through that right leg. Leg press with that right leg. All right, knee back, buttock forward, straighten that right leg, left leg. Right leg straight too. And then bend the knee. We can roll over onto the back. And we're gonna switch the strap. All right, so now we're gonna do a little Anantasana, Supta Padangusthasana flow. All right, so we're gonna start in Anantasana. All right, so you're going back to your left side down. Right, and then picking that leg up, grabbing the strap as close to the foot as you can. You can grab the toe if you'd like. All right, straightening the leg. Be in Anantasana. Find your balance there in Anantasana. Okay, now you're gonna go through a little bit of a Parivritta, right? Because you're gonna keep your right foot right where it is. And you're going to control slowly lower your right hip to the floor. So you're rolling over onto your back. You'll end up in a Parivritta, but you're still holding with your same hand though. All right, and then come up to regular Supta Padangusthasana. Extend through that left leg firmly and slowly lower the right leg out to the side. So technically you're back in Anantasana, you're just doing it on your back. Okay, now bring that leg back up. Supta Padangusthasana 1. Over to Parivritta. Take your left arm up over your head and you're gonna roll all the way back onto your right side. Now, as you come onto the right side, you have to find that balance of taking the leg back and the buttock forward. And then see, can you, from this crazy entry point, can you find a nice, quiet Anantasana? And then bend the knee. You can roll onto your back. Undo the strap. Just rest for a moment, both feet on the floor. All right, and then put the strap on your right foot, left foot, whichever foot it is, left foot, I guess. And we're gonna do the same thing. So we're starting in Anantasana. We're going from Anantasana to Anantasana. All right. So here we go. Ankle, hip, armpit. Come into this position here. Find your balance. And then be in Anantasana. That leg along the floor has to have energy and intelligence. And then it's top leg back, buttock forward. Okay, now you're gonna really, it's keeping the leg in the air where it is. Slowly start to drop your hip, and that's gonna bring you into that Parivrtta position. Be there for a moment. Bring the legs straight up for Supta Padangusthasana, and think about that leg on the floor. It's holding the leg press out. And with an exhalation, lower the left leg out to the side. Intensity in the right leg. Feel the stability in this version of the pose. All right, keep that right leg intense, bring the left leg up. You'll have to bring it all the way across a little bit and then arm up over your head and you're gonna roll onto your right side. Now, as you do that, you have to balance the movement of the leg with the movement of the body and find a nice, stable Anantasana. Right, and then you can bend that leg, roll onto your back, move the strap, both feet on the floor, take a few nice deep breaths. All right, roll to your side, grab your bolster. We're gonna play with Vasisthasana a little bit. So you'll have your bolster horizontally on your mat. All right, so you're gonna have your left side down and your right side up. So you're gonna put yourself on the correct side of the bolster. Put the strap around that right foot. Right, and then your hip has to get up on the top of the bolster. All right, so when we kind of lean into it, we end up on the side. So you're gonna have to work yourself up onto that bolster, and then you'll be in a forearm plank position for this version. Okay, now you want to watch that you're in line. We're not on the edge of the mat now, so just look down and see, is your ankle roughly in line with your hip? All right, and then is your armpit roughly in line with your hip? All right, and we don't want this look, right? We want to press into this arm and lift up through the arm. All right, we want the torso to feel light. Right, and then you're going to reach down. Here we are in that chair position again. So the knee is back, the buttock is forward. You're extending through that left leg, and then straighten the right leg. Now, it's not going to happen, but what I want you to do is as you press down into your right foot, your left foot, reach up through your right and try to pull your left hip off the bolster. Okay, because ultimately there won't be any support for the hip. You'll have to lift it up yourself. All right, and then bend the knee. You can just kind of sit yourself up on the bolster if you'd like. Switch your strap onto the other foot. All right, and then same thing. You're going to lay with the right hip on the bolster, well onto the bolster. Check to see ankle, hip, armpit in alignment. All right, press into that forearm and lift yourself up. Then bend the knee, go to that chair position we were in. Knee back, buttock forward, gripping those outer buttocks. And then straighten that leg and pull up. Push through the left leg to pull the right hip up. And that right leg is super intense. Front of the leg to the back of the leg. Reaching out through the heel. Turn and look up at your foot in the air. Is it in line with your armpit? Bring it back, buttock forward. All right, and then bend the knee. Okay, you can roll, sit on the bolster, take your strap off. And then we're going to go for it on the chair. Now the chair isn't always perfectly proportioned for us. I like a blanket on the chair because this can be a little ouchy. It's just going to go, the chair's just going to go right along the middle of your mat. If you need more padding, you can fold the blanket in half and have more padding, right? If you can get away with just one fold, then just one fold, but you want it kind of hanging over the edges a little bit, okay? You can have, if you need some height under your foot, you can have a block. I don't think that you'll need it, Tracy, but some people may. So if you need the block under your foot, you can have a block under your foot. All right, so here we go. Let's take the strap around the right foot, and you're going to sit with just your left butt cheek on the chair. All right, and then you're going to scoot. All right, because we want to be kind of right at the edge of the chair. So you're going to, oh, wait. You do need a block for your hand. So grab a block for your hand. I'm going to use my little parallel here. You do need a block for your hand. All right, so you want to be towards the edge of that chair. So you give yourself as much length in the leg as you can. So I'm right at the edge of the chair, and then you'll lean over and take your hand to your block. Now you see you're not a straight line anymore. There's a bend. And that's true because in the final pose, you're lifting that hip up higher. All right, now reach down, come to that chair position again. Right, now knee back, buttock forward. You have the back of the chair to support you. Be firm with that left leg as you straighten your right leg. Press down into that left arm and lift up out of the shoulder. Head back, turn and look at your right leg in the air. And then push up through that right leg like you're trying to pull that left hip up. Big deep breath. And then bend the knee. Extract yourself from that. It's not easy. And we'll switch sides. Right? So strap can go around. Now you don't have to use the strap. You could grab your toe. If you want to. We've done this a lot of times now. So there's some flexibility coming in those legs. I just distracted you from that with crazy poses. All right, so right hip is right on the edge. And then that right leg, it's super intense. It's still holding that leg press. You actually have the feeling of a leg press because your foot is pressed into the floor. All right, make sure with this arm, you're not dropping into the shoulder. You're pushing just as intensely in that right hand. Come first to that bent leg position and balance. Get the knee back, the hip is externally rotated, buttocks forward and grip the buttocks. Now push through that right leg as you straighten the left. All right, and then turn and look up at that left leg. Push that left leg up into the air like you're going to pull your right leg up off of the chair. Take a nice big deep breath. And then bend the knee. Come down. Let's sit in the chair. You can have your blanket or you can remove the blanket. And then legs nice and wide, sit at the edge of the chair and just round the back forward like Parsvakonasana. Release the head. Bring your hands onto your knees and sit up. And then let's spin around. So we're going legs to the right hand side of the chair. And we'll do a Padangusthasana. So you're pulling with your left hand, pushing with your right, turning. You turn the head all the way around. And then release. Let's go around to the other side. Twisting to the left, sit up tall, and then twist to your desire. Deep twist, light twist. Head can turn all the way around to the left. All right, and then release. One more time, let's come back to the front. And Trikonasana. So rounding the back down. It's not Malasana where we're reaching forward. Letting the back round a bit. Relaxing the head down. Knees can be as wide as you'd like, so you're not pressing on your diaphragm. All right, and then hands to your knees, press with your hands to sit up. All right, we'll finish with the Viparita Karani at the wall with some support under the hips. So you can take a quarter folded mat to the wall, and then either a couple of lengthwise folded blankets or your bolster. Alright, so those will go at the wall. You don't want any mat under your back, because that just makes it harder to slide out. But you can have a blanket open, that makes it softer, slidier. All right, and then if you are a somersaulter, you may somersault in. I'm not gonna show that today because we really didn't do anything for the neck today. So it's a scoochy moochy in. You slide down the wall to the side of the bolster, keeping the sacrum against the wall. Bring yourself around into the free crying. Right, then remember you want to feel like you're going a little bit over the back of the bolster. You don't want to feel like everything's towards the head side. So if you need to adjust, you can bend your knees and push into the wall. Lift your hips just a little bit and just kind of tuck that bolster a little closer toward you. And then you'll get that feeling of the sacrum kind of coming down towards the wall a little bit. You could stay with the legs straight up in the air. You could do a Padangusthasana if you'd like, cross legs if you like, whatever you feel like doing here. Arms anywhere that feels comfortable. Use the blanket to cover your eyes. Now let go of all of that leg intensity that we've had. The beauty of this position is that gravity does the work of bringing the legs down into the hip sockets. You can let those leg muscles relax. Take a couple of deep belly breaths and let the abdomen release. Release your jaw. Soften your tongue. Soften your eyes. Relax your facial muscles, your temples, your forehead. Use your breath to help guide your attention. Deep inhalation to bring your attention more inward. Exhale to let body relax. And now if your arms are anywhere over your head, bring them more down by your sides, just below the height of the shoulder. As we slide off the bolster, you can go hips to the floor, or you can keep pushing and slide all the way out. The hips come off the bolster, so push into the wall, slide yourself off. You can stop right there at the bolster and do cross legs or Vasisthasana on the bolster, or you can just keep sliding and go out flat. And now the arms will stay below the height of the shoulders. This is Shavasana. And adjust that blanket you've been on if you need to adjust the blanket under your head. Maintain that softness in the abdomen, throat, the jaw, the face, the eyes. Be aware of your weight on the floor. Sometimes we hold some tension and we feel light on the floor. Let yourself feel very heavy on the floor. And then we'll move very slowly out of Shavasana. So bring your knees together. Decide which direction you're going to roll to. Take that arm up over your head. It can be straight or it can be bent. That way, as you roll onto that side, your head is supported. Rest on your side for a breath or two. And then when you're ready, press with your arms to sit up. Any position is fine. Any way you face is fine. Sit up nice and tall and keep your head low for a moment. Take this opportunity to thank yourself for coming to class and continuing your practice. And then slowly raise your head. Slowly open your eyes. Have a very lovely day.